If you have any questions or comments, you can ask now. Okay, that's a question here.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that we should engage our mind in a spiritual path, so that our mind will do only those kind of activities. But my problem here is, although earlier, 1.5 years back, I used to be too much involved in the material things, thinking to do so many things, and I used to get confused. Oh, I did not do this one, I did not do that one. Where should I go? Which path is perfect? Should I start my business, or should I continue doing my job? So many things. I used to get frustrated. Now, since I heard Gita 1.5 years back, now I'm fully changed, and I am fully into the spiritual path, always thinking my mind is fully involved in this only. But the problem is, I don't know the start and the end. I'm just like, I'm doing anything, watching any kind of video, this Prabhuji, that Prabhuji, today Gita, tomorrow Bhagavatam, someday some other book. I have Bhagavatam installed in my house, Prabhupada book, so many books, Gita. So many things I'm doing, and I'm kind of thinking that I'm not going in a systematic order, and maybe it is wrong or right. I don't know. Could you please guide me?
Once if you are in a train, then it doesn't matter which compartment, which seat you are sitting. Anyway, the train is going towards your destination. So everywhere is blissful. Whether you bite the sugar cane in the beginning or in the end, in the middle, it's all sweet. Similarly, devotional service, everything is sweet. So whatever process you follow, it is sweet. But for our mind, it is good for us to focus on something. If you keep on roaming here and there, then vipasatmika buddhir samanana vidhiyate, then we become too much attached, that we want to know this, we want to know that, we want to do this, we want to do that. In spiritual life also, we become like a restless person. Want to achieve this, we want to achieve that. No, spiritual life means the first qualification is that Adav Guru Ashrayam. You surrender to one person, you take one person's guidance, and from his one person, you can practice many things, you can attain many things. That it is not that you should take one guru. Guru can be many, like we have Avaduta Brahmana. He took many gurus, he took example from many gurus. But we should have one guru. If you don't have one guru, then what happens? One guru will say one thing and you don't like, then you go to another guru and he will give you relaxation. Okay, this guru is good. Then he will not say something, then you will go to another guru. No, we should accept one Siksha guru. We'll take guidance from him, and under his guidance, he may direct us. Okay, you can do this, you can hear this, you can read this, you can practice this. Under his guidance, we may practice many things. So ultimately, our Siksha guru is Srila Prabhupada. If we are under Srila Prabhupada's Siksha, then there is no problem. There is no confusion, and might need some engagement, right? So it cannot be ideal. So we need to do something. In material life, people are busy doing so many different kinds of activities. The so-called big businessman, he is not simply sitting. He is doing more business. He never complains. You see, already I'm having business, but I'm already engaging in too many business. They don't complain. But in spiritual life, we complain. Okay, I'm doing so much. We are not actually doing so much devotion, but we may think like that we are doing so much devotion, but we should do more and more devotion. But under proper guidance, it will be good. That if you do something under proper guidance, that is good. And I don't know, in Kali Yuga, this time, this Corona time, it's like Yanisha Sarvabhutanam. For outside people, it's like a hell, but for devotees, it's like it's like a boon for everyone. Because even if you want to run away to work, still you cannot run away because everything is closed. So it's like a Lord's arrangement. Even if you want to run away, you are who are concealing. So you are pushed. Sometimes you don't have anything to do. Okay, let us listen this online class, some Zoom class. Like this, so many devotees they came. Okay, these people are all the time saying, okay, here, come and hear Bhagavad Gita, come and hear Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. They have summarized 18 Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. It's impossible to summarize whole Bhagavad Gita in 18 chapters in 18 days. But somehow we are speaking, and there are people who take inclination, who comes, and slowly they get some taste and they start to hear more and more, they learn and they become devotees. So yes, this is devotion service, and this is what we are meant to do. Machitta Matkuda Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam, to hear, to again and again discuss. That's what we want to do, but under proper guidance. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. I have a follow-up question on the Prabhuji's. Yeah, I have the same issue, and also temptations. Lots of temptations, and it's hard sometimes. Like, because you can resist, but then you always stand isolated in the group, stand isolated in the family. So that also makes it difficult if they are not part of the Bhakta Sangha or the understanding. So what do you do then, Haribol?
No, I didn't get your question. What is it? What kind of temptation?
Any kind of temptation, whether it's amongst people, when they give you ideas, okay, let's do this business, or have you seen her, have you seen this person, or why don't you start a business, or you should try a little bit of egg in the cake, it's not a problem, all sorts of things, because we live in a karmi life, the association is not necessarily all devotees, whether it's family or friends, which you have already built up over the last 20 years. So it's a bit hard, just to change from today to tomorrow. I've been following nearly a decade, but I'm still there where I was. But I'm trying, Haribol. So I'm just asking, because there are people who are doing certain things, but we also get temptations by other people or by other influences, and then it's hard because you then have to, be first discipline yourself, but then also you have to tell these people who you love or you like to engage in a nice way to say, this might be your life, but I can't do this, without losing them.
So how do you develop this distaste in these temptations? Only by satsanga. When you have this strong devotee sangha who are strict in their values, who are strict in following sadhana, who are strict in devotional service, by seeing them, we develop this attraction towards Lord. Ultimately, bhakti or shastra or Lord, we can develop some faith just by seeing devotees only. If we cannot have proper devotees association, then even though we may be hearing, we may be understanding, we may be reading so many things, but it really becomes very hard. Everything is just a theoretical. Like, I also have the same problem. Now we have these lockdowns, and because of this, we don't have direct devotees association, we don't have pure devotees service. So what happens then? Everything becomes like mechanical, everything becomes like theoretical knowledge, but practically it is impossible for us to apply. So what we can do, we can pray to the Lord to get this pure devotees association. If we have this pure devotees association, then immediately they can clear our ignorance just by their presence. How it is happening, that we don't know. It is spiritual things. It cannot be ascertained by our material measurement, but it happens. It happened many times with Srila Prabhupada's disciple, that these disciples, they were most confused people in the world. They were drunkards, they were drug addictors, they were everything. But as soon as they saw Prabhupada, even they did not do anything, just by seeing Prabhupada, just by serving Prabhupada, just by hearing from Srila Prabhupada, their temptations, their confusions, their path become very clear. So that is the only hope, that devotional service and devotees association and serving them, getting pure devotees association, that is the only method. But for this kind of time, what we can do, we have to anyway, devotees association now it is available all over the place. So it is not like a black and white answer. We have to do this. It depends on person to person. So it happens only by personal counseling. You open your heart, what is the problem, what is happening exactly, then devotees can guide you personally. Otherwise, general idea is devotional service and devotees association, but it depends person to person how to manage your family, how to bring everything in a proper, how to put everything in a proper priority. So that also has to be seen according to the person and place and time and circumstances. Hope that answers your question. Thank you. Ravinder Mohan Sharma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I agree with what the previous Prabhu had talked about regarding the temptations and all that, and also I understand the pull of Maya is very strong, and we need to try to unshackle ourselves from that and seek association with stronger devotees or devotees who are more pure-minded. I have two questions, Prabhuji. First one is regarding the spiritual planets, the existence of the spiritual planets and the inhabitants of the spiritual planets. I've been told that it is possible for the inhabitants of the spiritual planets to fall down to the material world. And I was told that it had happened in a story or something. I cannot remember, but I was told it can happen. Is that true? That's the first question. Second question, apparently there are some astrologers who are able to determine your previous life and your future life, including whether you will go to the spiritual world. Is that also true?
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. The first question, whether the Nitya Suris or those who are Lord's associate, whether they can fall down or not. So Lord assures, Yadgatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama. If you come back, if you come to me, then there is no question of coming back. Like we have Jaya Vijaya example. That is very peculiar example because by Lord's allowance, by Lord's permission, they have come down. But when we are reading this Bhagavatam, in this Bhagavata Pravaha, we have seen that this Jaya Vijaya, those who came down, they're not actual Jaya Vijaya. They were expansions of Jaya Vijaya. Because when Bali Maharaj was going through the spiritual world, then there is a Jaya Vijaya mentioned in that chapter. So Jaya Vijaya were there in the spiritual world, and at the same time they were in this material world. They were appearing in 3 janmas, and they were giving good fight for the Lord, and they went back to spiritual world. So in both the cases, the soul doesn't fall down from the spiritual world. If it comes down, then it's because of Lord's arrangement, and they don't actually fall down. Then in expansion, they come down. This is the answer. But if you understand about the soul, what we are here, how we are here, then it is intraceable. It is difficult for us to trace how we are here, whether we are here or whether we came down from there. It is impossible for us to ascertain. The best thing, how to get out of here. That is the best thing. Instead of breaking our head and trying to find faults that we came here, no, we did not come here, then we trying to get inside different kinds of arguments. So best thing, just get out of this world. That is the best thing to do. And second question is astrologers. Astrology is called Jyotisha Shastra. So Jyotisha is a part of Vedanga. So Jyotisha Shastra is mainly designed to fix a time for your yajna, to do different kinds of samskaras, to different kinds of yajna, to ascertain certain nakshatra and certain tithis. The Jyotisha Shastra is propounded. Other than this, there is absolutely no place to tell about your future, about your past. But there are some rishis who gave different Jyotish Shastra to give you to give you some warnings about your future, that in this period there may be some difficulties, so you please be careful. That much they can say, but they cannot give you. Like Prabhupada said, I can speak about your Jyotisha. What he said, Next life, you are going to take birth. Next life, you are going to suffer. Next birth, you are going to get old age. Next birth, you are going to get disease if you don't surrender to Krishna. That much we can say. So we all can be a Jyotisha, but astrologers, they cannot say. They can never say this. And especially in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to get proper Jyotisha person who knows all these things according to Shah. And most of the literature are already lost, which speaks about Jyotish Shastra already lost. Even though you have, what else they can teach you? What else they can tell you? They can tell you there is a problem, but only Lord can save us from problem. So it is better to go to the Lord. When some neighbor is giving you problem, they can say, okay, this planet and this planet is going to give you trouble. What can you do? The neighbor is causing you problem. What can you do? You cannot go to neighbor and tell him, okay, please, help me. No, you should go to the police and tell him if this person is doing some problem and control him. Similarly, by understanding that you are going to have problem, you don't go to that planet. You don't go to Navagraha and complain and pray to them, please help me. No, you go to the Supreme Lord. When you go to Supreme Lord, everyone will get trembled and all your problems will be solved. So that is our ultimate understanding. Okay, we have last question, Maragadavalli.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, as we discussed above in the chapters, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, more than these two, Bhakti Yoga can attain a spiritual life easily. To attain Krishna is also very easy. But in my experience, I feel Jnana Yoga is the best, because Bhakti Yoga, so every time we are chanting 16 rounds and offering, so these are the difficulties we feel when we go outside. Also prasadam only we have to eat, and we are facing problem also. Only prasadam is very difficult, and onion garlic should avoid. So these and all is very difficult to follow. Then reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, with the help of like your people, at least we can manage. But following is very difficult. These things and all. So how we can overcome these difficulties?
Okay. First of all, we should understand what is Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means not understanding Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Hearing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, it's a part of Bhakti Yoga. It is Shravanam. It is not Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, it is impossible for us to think. Jnana Yogis are Shukadeva Goswami, Jadabharata. They are Jnana Yogis. They are Jnanis. Means for them, they forgot completely about the body and they are going naked and they don't consider about the outside world, and they're completely in the meditation of, in the concentration of Jnana, in the concentration of Atma. So they are called what do they say? What is the word? Atma something. They're completely in the meditation of Atma. So it is not possible for us. And eating only prasadam and doing only this, if we cannot even do this much, then how we are going to attain that goal? Do you think Krishna is so cheap that we can attain him without any process? Even in this world, we should do some endeavor to attain anything. So if you want to attain Krishna, if you want to just get out of all this samsara, which is continuing you for millions and millions of lifetime, and it is going to continue for millions and millions of lifetime if you don't take up devotion service. So to some time when you have a disease, what is the best thing? Thinking, I don't have a disease, I don't have a disease. Is it a solution? No, you follow the rules and regulations. Doctor gives you prescription. You do this, you don't do this, you take this medicine, you don't take this food. You follow the prescription, then you will come out of disease. Not like there are some people who come and say, just think, you are this soul, you are not this body, and your disease will go away. This happens so many times. I am suffering here, and my grandfather, he comes and says, okay, just think, you are not this body. You see how much you are suffering, but actually this suffering doesn't belong to you. This belongs to you, your body. You are not suffering. We cannot think like that. It is impossible for us to think. But the best thing, the practical thing is take the medicine and follow some prescription for some time. You don't have to follow prescription for whole life. Just till you get out of your disease, you will follow this prescription. And then once if you get out of your disease, then you can eat. Similarly, this process, this Bhakti Yoga process, it is Susukam Kartamavyam. It is very happily done. Chanting Krishna's name is very happy. Yes, it is very difficult in the beginning. It's like a jaundice person. When you have a jaundice, even if you eat sugar cane, even if you eat something sweet, it looks bitter. But what is a medicine? Just keep on drinking the sugar cane. Slowly, it will become a nectar for you. So bhakti works as a both things. It works as a medicine. It works as a nectar. So in the beginning, it works as a medicine. It is very bitter. But once if you start doing continuously, then it becomes a nectar. And other than this, there is no other way. Jnana is a different process that you should understand. Jnana is not for us. And Krishna himself, he has declared that jnana, it is not the process for any of us in this material world. Maybe this material life looks difficult. Maybe the spiritual life looks difficult, but material life is impossible to live. Maybe spiritual life is difficult, but it is possible. But material life is impossible for us to live. So anyway, just stay in devotion service, stay in devotee association. Then it becomes easier. That's what I said. When you are with devotees, it becomes easy. When you go outside, you can still eat fruits. There are many people who are working outside and who doesn't have anything to eat. They're also suffering. They also do so many kinds of tyaga, like people those who have settled down in Western countries. They don't have proper sambar to eat. They don't have proper rasam to eat. They don't have proper South Indian pongal, venpongal to eat. So they are also suffering there. It's not that they are living very happily. So people, they take so much tapasya just for money, staying outside. So for Krishna, why don't we take some tapasya, give up some food for 1 or 2 days and eat some fruits? And there is always, you can find devotees. Don't say there is no devotees. There are devotees everywhere. Wherever you go, there are devotees, and they will help you in getting prasadam. So just you need to develop some good friends with devotees, then you will be happy. Okay, we end here and we'll see you tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.